I'm doing a giveaway for PAX bundles. Stick around till the end of the video to find out how you can win. What is up, everybody? I'm NoLucksGiven here with your afternoon snap, and today we are doing some league play, and I am playing with deck 34. I think it's a reasonable deck, and I haven't played with Arishem in a little bit. Arishem, one of my favorite cards in Marvel Snap, so I thought this would be a fun time to try him out again. I'm actually doing pretty well right now. In the league, I am currently 4-2, so I definitely have a chance to make a run for the top slot, but this is another player that I believe is currently 5-0 right now, currently undefeated. So this is not going to be an easy match for sure. But I've got Thanos and Arishem on my side. So hopefully that can help me here. The Vault and Storm is interesting. The curve on this hand is obviously very, very high, though. And they are playing possibly... They're playing Agamotto. They are possibly playing the Werewolf by Night deck. If I Storm and the Vault, then I'll definitely know where to put my Alioth. Though I'll probably put Alioth into the Vault on turn 6, right? And then maybe Shang-Chi on the final turn. Oh, no, they're also playing Thanos. Okay, my bad. So this could be Thanos Surtur potentially. Space Stone is going to make Shang-Chi a little bit trickier to hit with. But now we have a total pivot maneuver here for Asgard Besieged. I mean, what are the chances they are able to just slam... Well, they can't slam a Coal Obsidian or a Crossbones. I think I have to Storm Asgard Besieged. Oh, I could Shang-Chi it. Sure. I will Shang-Chi Asgard Besieged. Or I will retreat. This hand is pretty terrible. Let's retreat now. Maybe my opponent did not notice that I'm playing a 34-card deck. But I think they probably did. I mean, they had a reasonable play, too. Turn 1 Zabu into turn 2 Mind Stone. They overdrew a little bit with that. But still a reasonable start for them. And I think we can do better. We at least have a play for turn 2, but only if my opponent plays a stone turn 1 or a Zabu. Sure. We're going to wins this. Another Vault game. All right, well, now we at least have a 4-cost card that we can play on turn 2, so that's sweet. Maybe... I don't know how we'll use Doc Op. Maybe to fill up the Vault. Or maybe to fill up the Clubhouse. Potentially filling up the Clubhouse early could be good. Not going to play into Murder World. Let's just Doc Ock here. If we draw a stone, we can turn it into another Dr. Octopus and lock them out of the Clubhouse, and then maybe they'll get locked out of the Vault too, but with Space Stone, it's not as guaranteed. Maybe we're just letting them play this for free. Ooh, Red Guardian with no target. That worked out well for me. This turn, not so much. I mean, Enchantress onto the Clubhouse seems fine. They actually have 0 power in the Vault still, which is kind of crazy. Could also just run the Red Guardian out there. I think that Enchantress is likely to just be all right, but this is certainly not an exciting curve here now. Let's play this. We're also, like, kind of playing around Shang-Chi. Because what are they going to do? Play Shang-Chi this turn? Ooh, Merlin is good against winds, of course. They could change this location. They could do some other stuff. We now have this as an opportunity, which makes my Mockingbird cost 3 on the final turn. So I could go Mockingbird plus red. That would also fill this location. I think that there's better plays that I can make. They can also play a Thanos into the clubhouse this turn, which means that when they fill the clubhouse, they would win the vault because they'll get 3 extra power there. Yeah, this feels like a losing proposition. I could go like this. That's 14 to their 12. They would go up to 15. I would go up to 16 after filling clubhouse. Sure. This puts me just over the top there. So I've opened myself up to Shang-Chi here, potentially. But honestly, this seems fine. That is 14 points, plus the 2 more points that I need in the vault. I think this is always the play. And it's probably just the play for 2 cubes. Don't exactly know what other crazy stuff their deck can do, but I feel fairly confident that we've won the vault. All right, and they are going to retreat from us on this one. Fair enough. Yeah, I think we played that reasonably. The only thing is maybe I could have snapped into that Agamotto Nova play, because it did seem fairly obvious what my opponent was going to do and how that lined up against it. Wow, Quinjet into Iron Patriot. I don't want to lose my Quinjet to Our Lady of Saints, so I think we'll play for here, and we'll make this the Iron Patriot location is going to be the plan. I can blink the Iron Patriot, or I can just take my opponent for 1 cube. That's another way to do it. Yeah, my opponent definitely not playing Agamotto. They're just playing Merlin Thanos, but I don't want to say just playing Merlin Thanos, because there's also Zabu. Zabu is not always, not typically, a Thanos card, I'll say that. Okay. If we can win something into this location, we could Iron Patriot it. We could also go Iron Patriot here and then wins them into Xandar while also playing a Space Stone. They are somewhat likely to play into Xandar this turn. Atuma is kind of interesting for winning Iron Patriot battles, but I do think that this is my best play. Now I feel like either we're going to win the Iron Patriot battle, or we might wind up locking them out of this location with the wins if they battle too hard for it. Oh, unless that's a bummer. That is decidedly a bummer. We could go for a Winds of Change here, or we could Atuma. I kind of like Misery on Iron Patriot, potentially Misery on Space Stone Iron Patriot, depending on how this lands. So, I don't know. For right now, maybe I'll just go for Atuma, maybe even a Thanos next turn. Yeah, I don't have a great opportunity to play the Misery, so I'm not going to stress about it. Now I really don't have a good opportunity to play the Misery, but maybe this now means that we're going to play like Thanos and then next turn Space Stone Images here. It's a lot. It's a lot of a commit to this location, but I still think I'm interested in imaging my dead Iron Patriot, right? And the Space Stone. There's like another play this turn that is Space Stone plus images onto the Atuma. I'd rather play the images as late as possible to not play into Shang-Chi, but I think it might just happen that we wind up playing into Shang-Chi regardless. Speak of the devil. Ooh, she a devil. Probably play Space Stone this turn just to draw a card, even though it's not super influential. And I'll snap, because I'm battling for all 3 locations here. Next turn is likely still Images Center. Maybe some weird Images on Shang-Chi play is viable too, but I think it's... Oh, also Misery on Shang-Chi if we get a discount on something, but I don't know how that would happen. would need like a random location change effect. This could be a Shang-Chi from them. Not quite. Okay. So here's the thing, is like images on a location where we're already winning. That makes it a lot easier. My opponent did have a little bit of card draw this game with the Space Stone, but I still wouldn't have necessarily put them on having a Shang-Chi. I do put them on having a Shang-Chi in their deck because they need to have cards that Zabu is discounting, and Images is not one of those cards, so it's probably just like Shang-Chi, Enchantress, maybe Galacta. Still have some unknowns about what is potentially in my opponent's deck. Maybe the Wiccan is there with the Zabu, but I feel like maybe no Zabu at all, or maybe no Wiccan at all. Eternity range does make me kind of want to Iron Patriot. If we have a snappable Legion location, I'll consider that. I think I'm sticking with it. I think that my curve is fine. This does make me a little bit nervous, to be sure, but we've got some cubes that we can lose, and if it's just a snap to indicate Mind Stone, maybe Mind Stone into Surge, I think these are reasonable things for me. Sure, we can battle. Let's go for it. My opponent might like fill up the location and prioritize filling the location rather than winning the Iron Patriot battle. Those are kind of opposed, so that could get me some points here. If they play like Merlin this turn, they lose a card draw. They play Soulstone plus Space Stone, they lose a card draw. No, they've got the Zabu. Well, that's a card I would love a discount on so that I could play it on the final turn. Polaris will make it so that they've filled this location no matter what here. Shauna could allow me some fun opportunities to fill this location. Or others. This feels like reasonable points. This feels like reasonable points. Bolts into Kamartaj. Oh, kind of makes me feel like we could snap back. Let's give them the energy of White Hot Room and try to win a location. Wiccan into Kamartaj. Okay, that is pretty gravy. They do not need White Hot Room, which might mean that they're willing to let me take White Hot Room. So this turn we could Legion, do some stuff. We denied ourselves a rock, which is pretty good. We also have Surge Bolts. And then I don't have to worry about White Hot Room. They can play they can just play Thanos into White Hot Room this turn and feel pretty good about that. Yeah, I mean, I feel like I should Surge. And from there, I kind of feel like I should Bolts or maybe Shauna. But let's just Bolts and delay these decisions till next turn. I think that this is fine. Alright. Ooh, White Hot Room Misery. Misery is a nice 4-cost card in your Zabu Thanos deck for sure. I could have played Misery onto Wiccan and just had infinite energy. They did get +3 max energy for this play though, so looks good for them still. But also looks good for me. This can go a variety of ways here still. Both of us with nearly infinite energy this turn. I'm not going to have infinite energy next turn. But I will have a cheap MODOK. And I can dump my hand right now. U.S. Agent wants to get played probably in White Hot Room. Thinking I will take off Kamartaj. They'll have access to it this turn. If we take off Camartage, we can fill Eternity range. And then still leave ourselves one room here and one room here. You know what? I don't think I can play Shauna. I think I just play US Agent. Leave Shauna for the final turn. I am going to have a double surge card next turn, so I will probably be able to play what... Never mind. Okay, we are super far behind on Camartage. Possibly means we ignore it. Sinister London. Now Fisk Tower, never mind. Forgot that was a double. And now everything's Eternity range, and US Agent lines up well against their Misery Thanos. Does still mean I have to put some points here in a slightly difficult way. Shanna. And then images the Shanna'd card. That does not seem good enough. If I had 2 discounts on this, that would have been sweet. I still think this is fairly comebackable. And I'm also noticing that this puts me to 15 here. Probably puts me over the top here, but I might just rather do this. My opponent has 10 energy this turn, though. It feels sus to stay in. We've got 12 points here. We probably win this Eternity range. So should we just be battling as hard as we can here? It's about the same number of points, too. But we never win this center location. I think we have to retreat here, unfortunately. I just don't think it's worth the extra 2 cubes. It's unfortunate. We're now losing by 1 cube, so not a huge deal in the macro. But on the micro, I don't know, maybe too many points were put into Eternity range. If we could have imaged a bunch of US Agents, that could have been, but I mean, I couldn't play for drawing that one specific card, you know? This game I might be able to. I think I saw it in my opening hand. Oh no, that's Agamotto. Oof, this is a clunky opener. Valentina could be a saving grace, though, especially with Frigga. We have a reasonable curve, too. Valentina into Valentina card, into Agamotto, into Thanos, into Arishem, right? All right, this location's going to get flooded. They've got Space Stone, potentially. Well, I like my curve reasonably enough. Let's stick with it. Also Merlin or Reality Stone. A lot of options. Probably not getting any Red Hulk pumps. Also not getting access to Grand Central. But one idea here is Red Hulk, Frigga the Red Hulk, US Agent next turn. That's probably the line I'm considering the most right now. And it works out really, really well if they ever do happen to skip, though with Merlin, the chances of them ending a turn other than the last turn with unspent energy seem pretty low, which might be good because it will allow me to play around Shang-Chi. All right, we are going to get Grand Central, and we are going to get a monster here in Monster Island. Yeah, they do spend all of their energy here. Don't need Thaddeus. Is the energy cheat on Thanos relevant? I actually think not incredibly so. I think we're doing this. Another 4-8 is still totally fine, especially if we could maybe turn it into a 4-11 on the final turn. Though, yeah, like I said, not banking on that. Thaddeus also probably a dead card against a Wiccan Thanos Merlin deck. And Surge. Yeah, they got all the ways to smooth out their draws here. Monster Island is, like, currently their best place to maybe play a Misery this turn, because they don't want to lose their stones in Lake Hellas, right? Oh, they take out my Red Guardian before I grab a copy of it. So now it's a 4-6. Polymorph also makes a lot of sense there. Armor's looking pretty dang good. A 4-6, decidedly less exciting. That is a thing. Might be retreating down to 1 cube here. What else do I have access to? I can Iron Patriot to try to make the cost of my hand bigger. I think that's probably a play. And then play this Time Stone. Next turn I really only get to play one thing, regardless of how you slice it. Alright, I'll go for it for Grand Central value. Never mind. Oh, maybe I get some extra value here out of Castle Blackstone. No. No, I do not. So I'm losing all... Well, I'm not losing Lake Hellas. But I'm losing the other locations going into the final turn. I think this is a retreat again, and then I'm just going to have to win the next 3 games. I do not see a way around that. Yeah, this hand is super clunky. Let's... I mean, they're never retreating here, but I'll still retreat later. They'd have to put me on something absolutely wild and really have nothing themselves, but with Merlin, that's just, like, not a possibility. They can just play Thanos and Merlin this turn, and they're already winning this location. Suppose it's not, like, super unreasonable to beat, especially with, like, the US agent. If their play is just Thanos. Yeah, maybe that's not the best play. Maybe Thanos plus Stone is a reasonable play. Thanos into Monster Island, just go over the top in the armored location. It was probably beatable too, but not with this hand. All right, down to the final cube here. And what do we have for our pleasures? We have Images Galacta. That's a combo if we can draw some stones especially. Or a Surge. I'll go Surge into Galacta and then maybe Images it, but... yeah, it could work. It could work. It's actually helpful. I might be playing a turn 3... I don't know why I said turn 3. Turn 4 Galacta Legion into Titan is kind of the thought process here. Wow, the Grandmaster too. They are getting tricksy in their Thanos deck. I appreciate that. Okay. Well, let's Galacta here then. I am pretty sure I'm going to Legion Titan. My hand is super expensive, even more so right now. Yeah, I think this can translate to a win. Maybe they'll give me a stone this turn with Castle Zemo, but I don't care about it. I could Eliath and then Zemo give them Mind Stone, but I would much rather just Legion. Okay. Puts Legion below Shang-Chi, which is like small, and then I get their Mind Stone, also kind of small. But the big thing here is half price on some biggins. So I think the play here is Emperor Hulkling, Thanos, or Thanos, and then next turn Images Eliath, and I can even throw in a Mind Stone somewhere, and maybe Images the Legions or something. So yeah, I want to use Goliath to protect my cards in one of these two locations, whichever I think they are more likely to Shang-Chi me. Shang-Chi wins this location. It does not win this location, so I'll predict the Shang-Chi here. I don't know if I want to play even more all-in for Shang-Chi here, or just go Mind Stone Images for a tie. I could just go all in and lose to a Shang-Chi. They have to assume I'm playing for this location. They don't have to, but I think it's reasonable to. I also have Proxima Midnight. That's actually better, because I can put 15 points here now. Sure, Proxima Midnight. Did not even consider that. But got to win the next two in addition to this one. I think we've won this one. I think we probably just have more 6-cost cards in our deck than my opponent. They have not played a Time Stone here, but they do have Surge. But because they have Surge, maybe they're not even playing Shang-Chi, which would be crazy. Now, they did play the Titan, and they did play the Titan. I think this is just an extra card that they had, and I think this is Goliath beating a Shang-Chi. Yeah. Okay. And that's Zabu to win this location, but Reality Stone shouldn't punish me. Great. Okay. Gotta win the next two now. And we found ourselves in the midst of a comeback. Yeah, if they had surged the Shang-Chi, then they would have been able to also play their Thanos. 3-cost Thanos, 3-cost Shang-Chi.
Destiny will arrive.
Time Stone off the top. Space Stone too. Probably go Space Stone first, actually. That way we can maybe hit a second stone for next turn. They go Mind Stone into the sewer. I like Space Stone into the unknown because you can always play a Thanos here regardless. There's going to be Mini Lab. We could turn off Mini Lab, or we could keep it because it's an interesting Thanos location. It's kind of a bad location for Galacta specifically. I think let's shut it down. Yeah, I want to be doing Galacta stuff. I'm also noticing that I might want to Galacta center or left because I have Giganto. Okay, well with that, we certainly play Galacta here. Unless the plan could be like images, but... Oh, on turn 5, I can't play Giganto. On turn 5, I could play Thanos into Sewer System. Turn 5, I could play images onto Space Stone. Let's see where this gets me here. Reality Stone again. Panopticon. Okay, that works out well. And Space Stone for them. But we actually denied some of their card draw. That's pretty good. This now becomes a great images zone. And do I want 2 bolts next turn potentially as well? We also just have the classic images onto Panopticon. Or onto Galacta. It would have been great with a stone. I think that would have sold me on that play. But without that, it's a little bit more awkward. Do I have to put this here just so that way I have a play next turn? I mean, I always have a play next turn because of bolts. I think I want to spend my energy as efficiently as possible, and I think that that means playing Thanos here. Okay, they had the Wiccan Curve. I think I might just be boltzing. Oh, especially with this Ironheart draw. Yes. Cool. This is a nice Ironheart as well. Gets points into Panopticon. And then on the final turn, I will have Giganto plus Phoenix Force, but that's only good if they specifically Shang-Chi me right now, which I would love. That would be the best case scenario here. They don't have to do that because they have the bonus Wiccan energy, but like what else are they doing for the turn? Just playing Thanos? I think we might see a Shang-Chi plus what? Not sure. Nice. That is absolutely beautiful. So now I have Gigantopoulos Phoenix Force. No way they see that coming, and we get to move along into the final game. Don't know if they have Eliath. They've got four cost cards now, so I'd put them on having exactly that. This looks beautiful. Maybe they take Panopticon. No way they expect a 18 power Giganto here, nor a 17 power Thanos here. I think those are just insurmountable numbers. They do have 8 energy. 8 energy could be Cole plus, I don't know, Thanos plus a pair of stones. Not gonna do it. Oh, and a Merlin. Oh, they played Time Stone. Gotcha. Yeah. Big plays here. Big plays. Fell right into my trap, baby. Okay. Final game. 2 cubes on the line. And we are down to the wire. Now we will return the fist bump and see if they are inclined to give me the thumbs up again. Yeah, I kind of had a feeling they are feeling a little salty, potentially. Let's hit them with this one. Wha-bam. Interrupt your Thanos animation over there. All right, we've got the sassy girl. Ripping a stone is always fun value. We've got no turn 2 play, which is unfortunate. And they have the Mind Stone. I ripped their Zabu, which honestly feels good for them. If I hit a 2... Oh, Surge is absolutely insane. I can Wong into the Surge now as well. And if this gives me a stone, then I am gravy. And then on turn 5, I get to Bolts into the Wong, plus re-trigger the Surge. Cool. They could have the Red Guardian again. They are drawing a bunch of cards here. And that looks like a Misery location if I've ever seen one. Titan, again, not bad. We are playing Wong, and then next turn, maybe we'll wins the... Oh, we actually have Prio here. Huh. I like that less because they might Red Guardian my Wong. But what can you do? Yeah. Yeah, either way they got me here, but now I still get to Winds and Bolts the Wong, the Red Guardian, and yeah, just Bolts into Wong, which is all very good. A little bit awkward now that we've seen Supergiant. So is this the Supergiant turn? I don't know how this works. Oh, gosh. I think we're currently under the effects of Supergiant. Which means I think I have to go like... I mean, it's a great time to play Sasquatch. This is fine. It's 10 power. Next turn I might be playing Destroyer. Yeah, okay. It's only 5 power now. Oh no, I have to Bolts this turn, don't I? If I Bolts, that gives me how much extra energy going into the final turn? I might be able to play Destroyer plus Thanos over here. It's an extra 8 energy going into the final turn, so I will have 15 energy. That's enough to play another 6 off the top. Widow's Bite is going to get destroyed, so I don't have to care about that. They don't have the Misery. They do have the Wiccan here. A little bit late, Supergiant throwing off their Wiccan curve. They will still have 8 energy and a 4-cost Thanos on the final turn. But I have 15 energy. Whew, if that ain't enough to get it done. So we are going to blow up both of these things. That's the spooky part. Here's another interesting thing that I can do, though, is I can Destroyer, keep the Wong, keep the wins, and then flip over a Thanos here and a Valentina here. For 13 in the center and 12 over in Hotel Inferno. This battles for all 3 locations and may actually be the most points on the board. We don't know what this is, but it costs them 4 energy. So it could be a Shang-Chi. Can't be a Cull. It probably is a Shang-Chi then, huh? Which means I definitely don't want to play Thanos or Destroyer center. All right, sure, Destroyer. Let's go for it. Looks like a fun one here regardless. This is so many points over in Titan that it's possibly overkill, but also possibly not. Because my opponent might just play Thanos over there. Battling for all locations seems like a good gambit, though, to me. And yeah, we'll see where they actually go for. Oh, Eliath! Sure, that's bad. It's bad for me. So which order is this Shang-Chi going to flip over in? I think their Shang flips first, because they had Prio going into the final turn. Enchantress? And then, my girl, Sasquatch, gets it done. Hold on, hold on. Oh, the Sasquatch emotes didn't... Oh, what a bummer. My Sasquatch emotes didn't work, but the comeback did. There we go. I'm NoLucksGiven. Peace. So here's how I'd like to do my giveaway for PAX bundles. I've got 6 of them, courtesy of Second Dinner, to give away, and I've done similar contests like this before where you can comment on my videos and enter for a chance to win. And I'm going to do the same thing this time. Every time you comment on one of my videos, limit once per video, but you can comment on every single one of my videos this season, and that will give you another entry. So if I upload 50 videos this season, you could enter up to 50 times. I'm not going to do any type of like code word or anything like that. It would make it a little bit easier on me, but I want anyone that comments anything to be eligible to win, even the people that have already commented on my videos the past 2 weeks for this season. And you can still go back and comment on those old videos if you want a chance to win. But here is what I am requiring. You to join my Discord. The link is in the video description. That is just going to be so much easier for me to give the winners their codes. Sometimes people win and I respond to their comments and I tell them to email me, and like spam filters pick that up, or people just don't receive the notifications on YouTube. So it will be a lot easier for me if you join my Discord. That is not the purpose of it. I do not care if people join my Discord. It is just going to make it easier for me to tell you if you have won this giveaway. So leave a comment on any of my videos and join my Discord so I can tell you if you've won something.